I know y'all want to know if I saw the Grammys last night. Yes, and she killed it. She looked so good. She sounded so good. I was just imagining it being me. But listen, y'all know I like to time travel, and y'all know it's 2002 over here. So yesterday was the 4th. Today is February 5th. Today, February 5th, is the first day that What About Us became a top 5 R&B single. February 5th, 2002. And Brandy was on the Grammys last night, right? I'll be right on time. So y'all get ready for that full moon praise. See y'all February 5th, 2002. Ja Rule, Michael Jackson, Alicia Keys, Usher, and Brandy with What About Us, number 5. You know what I'm saying? What was the R&B music chart on that day, February 5th? Come on now. Shoo-ba-doo-ba-doop down. I was just listening to Never Say Never last year like it was my first time, and even rebought a new copy. And for Top of the World to be sampled and to be performed at the Grammys, it's like I'm experiencing Never Say Never for the first time all over again. And then it's being tied into the 2002. It's just crazy. I'm just like, God is telling me, the universe is like, you know what time it is, Lawrence. You know what time it is. I'm dropping all of these hints and all of these synchronicities so you can catch on what time it is.
Don't ever doubt you'll be someone. Always go for what you want. Get up and put your purpose on. Get up, feel the sun shining on your face. Believe that you deserve it all. Put in the work and you will end up far. This is my show and tell. So tell me, are you ready to get it on? So tell me, yeah. So tell me, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready for me? So tell me, are you ready? Tell me, are you ready?
So, moving on. Speaking of moving on, the opening track. Moving on, I think it's a perfect opening track because it's up-tempo, and once again, the lyrics explains what's the art, like the artist should listen to their character. You know, this track says that Brandy is headstrong. And it also says that if she is in a situation and she doesn't really fit the mold, she's okay with moving on. She's not going to be defeated. She knows it's not over. She's okay with moving forward because she knows something going forward, something good is coming, something better is coming. And that really channels into what she was going through at this time during her career, because she had just got finished doing Thea. And it was a lot of struggle and hardship on that show. There was a lot of mistreatment on that show towards Brandy as far as a character on the show, and suppressing Brandy a little bit, maybe oppressing Brandy a little bit. But, you know, there's no coincidence if the lyrics are saying, if the role doesn't fit me, you know, I'll be moved. That's what I got from the song growing up listening to it. But my first time hearing this song, I just couldn't break my focus off of the beat, like the bass line and the guitar and just the rhythm and the harmonies, background vocals done by, I believe, Cherie Patrice is doing the background in this one. Yeah, this is Brandy and Cherie Patrice. Shout out to my girl Cherie Patrice, you did your thing. Like, those harmonies on Moving On are just something special. A lot of the harmonies, like the choices that people made musically when it comes to like gospel music and just music at that time, was just very unique. Yeah, she did half of this album. Shout out to Cherie Patrice. All right, so this is what the inside of Brandy's album looked like. Very pretty, very round the way girl. Like, you know this girl. Like, if you were walking down the street in the 90s, you would probably run into this girl. You know, like, you know her. Not too glamorous. It doesn't need to be all of that, and it's still slaying. Yes. Classic. This is how I remember the album. I remember the cassette being white. My mom had the white cassette. Yes. 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 So, Baby, which is my favorite song by Brandy, released on my birthday. Weird. Crazy. December 24th. Let me show you. I have the single too. My auntie had this one too. She had like the maxi cassette or something because it had the remix on it. And that's what I remember the most about Baby. And I remember Baby having a remixed video to it. I swear, like, it's very rare. The All-Star Party Mix had a video. Anybody has it, please. I know I'm not crazy. I know I've seen it. But yeah, the All-Star Party remix to Baby is freaking amazing. If you don't got it, get it. I have the CD version too, because the cassette version that I have doesn't have the party mix, but the CD version does. So I had to get both. But yeah, Baby is my favorite song, not only for the way that Brandy is singing it and she sung it in one take, it's because of the beat. Like, dang, that New Jack Swing beat at that time, that nod, that the shaker, the hi-hats, just everything about the beat. Shout out to Keith Crouch, Kipper Jones, everybody that was a part of this album, the sound. Rasan Patterson, who wrote Baby. Shout out to you. You are amazing. I'm a fan. I love you. I love your voice. I love you. You're just, I hope we cross paths. I'm wishing we cross paths as well. It's me and Sheree Patrice. She's so sweet and just a real person. Shout out to both of you. But yes, Baby is my favorite song. The harmonies, again, the melody choices, the funk is just funky. Like, I just love the song. It's my favorite Brandy song ever. I can listen to it over and over and over and over again. I'm sorry if I get on your nerves. Not really, but it's that good. But yeah, okay, Best Friend, dedicated to Ray J, as we all know. I just love, what caught me about Best Friend was the piano and then the bass choice. You know, the beat. And that's why a lot of the guys back in the day probably listened to it. They bumped it in their car, especially if they had bass and sound in their car. They definitely bumped Best Friend because of the bass and the knock in it. My sister's godfather, that was his experience with the song. He was like, man, I used to play that song because the bass just... It sounded like a thuggish song, a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, the video, very cool. Very cool. I always thought Brandy was like in a garage or something, but, or a parking lot. Very cool. I love the harmonies that they put in Best Friend, especially during the bridge. Just the choices, just the musical choices that they chose. Just amazing. Then you got I Wanna Be Down. Now, if you wasn't already hooked by Moving On, you clearly don't have a pulse, because the way that Moving On comes in just with the kick and the bass. I think it just comes in with the kick and the guitar. Like, if the kick and the guitar don't grab you, God help you. But you have Baby to catch your attention already. That guitar riff is going to catch your attention for sure. Best Friend, the piano's going to hook you. And then you get to I Wanna Be Down, and you're stuck. You're stuck with I Wanna Be Down because, and it's the album version I Wanna Be Down, you know. You know, there's a single edit, you know, it fades out, but then we had single edits and we had album versions for a reason. So we can put it on the radio, but then the album, the project just was a vibe. Like, these 2-minute songs are just not it. The 4-minute, 5-minute songs, it's because your album, it's a body of work. It needs to be a flow of vibe. You need to just sit there. My mom used to play this album, so I would sit down somewhere. Literally, like, that's how I used to. Okay, my vivid memory of playing this album, one time my mom put the cassette in the radio, and all I heard was Moving On come in. I just was in a trance. I walked straight to the bedroom where she was playing the song, and I just sat in front of the radio, and I did not move. I promise you, I did not move. I was stuck until, like, probably I Dedicate came on, and I went to go look for her. She was in the bathroom taking a bath. My mom needed some time away from me so she could take a bath. And how she did it, that's how she did it. She needs to take a bath. And once I saw her in the bathtub, I went back to the room and sat there, and I did not move, and I waited till the album was done. This album, this is why Do You Like Me exist. So one day, I'm gonna do the same for a little kid too. I wanna do it too. I'm gonna do it too. One day. So, yes, I dedicate part one, very iconic. We wish it was like a full-length song. Shouting out all the people that created the sound that she had at this time. Her voice was very strong to me. Very reminiscent of Whitney Houston. You know it's Brandy. You know it's not Whitney, but the run choices, the tone, and the vibrato, just the way she's singing. Whitney Houston. Did you know that Deborah Cox and Brandy was like, it was kind of like a bidding war between them two, kind of in a way? Because they were like, look, Atlantic was like, look, we can't sign two black female artists, basically. We have to pick one, so who we're going to pick? And they picked Brandy. So Deborah Cox, this could have been a Deborah Cox album. It could have been, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. But Brandy got signed to Atlantic at that time and was very successful. Is very successful. Atlantic, y'all should work something out again. Bygones be bygones. But yes. So, then you have Broken Hearted, another single. The album version is just nothing like it. The way, that's a one-take song too. She was on her way to Six Flags and she was trying to hurry up and get out the studio. So she pushed that out her body. So she can go to Six Flags Magic Mountain. I'm with you, Brandy. I would have done the same thing. I'm with you. But that's what we got out of that one take. And I'm telling you, this is what I mean by Whitney influence. Listen to that album version. If you listen to the album version of Broken Hearted and then listen to the single version of Broken Hearted, you'll hear that Brandy kind of came into her sound by that time. Because it's two different, it's the same, but it's a different approach in a way. Because the album version sounds like she approached it as like, look, I gotta go there. But in the single edit, it was more like, look, I'm just giving you me. And that's it, she kind of used a softer tone in the single version, which kind of gets you ready for that tone that she used in Cinderella and like Sitting Up in My Room, 95 to 97. Kinda. Never Say Neverish, but still not quite, because the Never Say Never tone, it was just a different, warmer, darker. Well, not that dark, but just a little bit. But yeah, here, definitely Whitney influence. Definitely Whitney influence. But still giving you Brandy at the same time. Giving you her. Like, only a way that she can do it. If you watch her sing it live on, I think it was Video Soul, you know what I'm talking about. I'm Yours. A beautiful ballad. A beautiful ballad. It just reminds me of, like, a ballad that would have been on I Want to Dance with Somebody, or even Whitney's first album. I could hear that song even being on one of Whitney's albums. It sounds like a Whitney Houston song, and she conquered it. She proved that, look, if you guys are going to give me a song like what she would do, then I'm going to do my thing over it. Because you have to realize Whitney was the top female vocalist. Like, she is still, but, she was really like, this was still like Whitney, I Will Always Love You era when this album came out. Like, Wait and Exhale did not exist when this album came out. She was still touring for The Bodyguard when this album came out. So, for Brandy to do this and exist at this time, pretty epic. I'm Yours, Broken Hearted. Nobody was singing like this at 14. At 15. I think she was 15. Black girl. This is why. So, Sunny Day, it's just like, when you look at these pictures in the album and you look at the warmness, like when you hear songs like Sunny Day, you feel like you in the album. And when you watch the video come on, like the I Want to Be Down video, you felt like you were there with them. Like you felt like you were there with her. That's what I'm talking about. It's relatable. It's real. It's not too glamorous. It's just very, real. So, As Long As You're Here, I love that. Oh, I think her name is Trina. Yeah, Trina Powell. She was in that song, My Love Is the Ish by Something for the People. She was in a duo, I believe, and they did background vocals on the other half of this album. I used to think it was Cherie doing it, but it's actually Trina and I forget the other girl's name. It'll come to me. But yes, I love those girls' voices. I love Trina's voice. You can hear it all over in the As Long As You're Here track and the hook. Shout out to you. And I just love the background vocals and the harmony choices in this song. And I love the beat. I love the piano and the strings and the drum choices. It sounds like y'all beating on trash cans. Like I just love it. I love it. Love every bit of it. Love it. I feel like I'm walking into the Soul Train Awards right now, listening to that song. Like, thank you. And now I understand why Soul Train Lady of Soul went up for Brandy in '96. Y'all should check that out. It's on YouTube. So, I remember actually seeing that as a kid and experiencing that live. I remember my mom had that on VHS, and that's my vivid memory of Brandy too, winning awards. Yes. So, you have Always on My Mind, which was the first song recorded for the album. This was what Brandy said during her an interview. I forget which interview, if it was the Star Profile interview or one of the tour interviews, but she said it. It's a beautiful track. I love the beat. It's very like jazzy, very like small cafe-ish. Like just I love the rim shot, like the shaker, just very cool, very chill. You know, make you want to recite some poetry or something. I love the way the song starts, like the piano and then the kick and then the hi-hat. Just gold, gold, gold. Like they did it. It could never be duplicated. This could never be duplicated ever. Like it's y'all did what y'all needed to do. Brandy did your thing. Keep everybody. So then you have I Dedicate Part 2, which is reminiscent to the beginning of the album, kind of keeping you afloat, like, you know, hey, keeping you afloat, keeping you warmed up, and then you come in with Love Is On My Side, another really nice ballad, really chill ballad. I love the rim shot and the jazzy choices that they chose for this album and for this track. Robin Thicke is singing background on Love Is On My Side. A young Robin Thicke, a teenage Robin Thicke. And I believe he wrote it. He was a part of the writing process. So shout out to you, Robin Thicke. Yes, if you listen to it, you can really tell that that's Robin Thicke singing in the background. Pretty neat. I wonder if he got a plaque for this album and if it's hanging up in his house. Give Me You, which is honestly a gospel song. Most and many great albums, whether it's debuted, sophomore, doesn't matter, have a gospel song on it because we come from gospel roots, and I know I definitely do, and I understand why this is on the album. So I love it. Give Me You, gospel song, and it has a swing to it, like almost if Kurt Franklin produced it. So check it out. And the album ends perfectly with I Dedicate. It doesn't get any better than this. This is just a slamming album. But I gotta go, y'all. I'm gonna listen to it for the umpteenth time. Then I'm gonna listen to it again and again and again. But I'll see y'all again in the next video. I just had to.